Media in all its forms, especially social media platforms, are double-edged swords. They can be used to inform people or to manipulate them. And in the era of corporate and oligarchy-controlled media, it is naive to assume these media outlets have our best interests at heart. Now, what if I told you that media manipulation can indeed create anger, a desire to fight and vengeance, and send young men to a battlefield to die for the sake of the geopolitical and financial interests of others? I will give you 3 recent examples. While the media was not as capable as today, many regional and international outlets managed to manipulate thousands of Arab Muslims and urge them to wage a holy war in Afghanistan against the infidel Soviet Union. While the 35,000 fighters were in fact mercenaries, the media portrayed them as Afghan Arabs, and the American and Saudi intelligence agencies sponsored them with money, training, and weaponry, and everything. The second example is Syria, where the CIA engineered a radical Islamist insurgency against what they called the Assad dictatorship. However, the main motivation of the tens of thousands of multinational terrorists who flooded the country to fight the infidel regime of Damascus and formed the notorious terror organizations such as ISIS and al-Nusra Front was religious and sectarian. Regional and international media coverage of the war in Syria and the manipulative social media campaigns played an essential role in igniting and prolonging the war that killed over 500,000 people. The third example, which is a more recent one, is the Ukraine proxy war. In this case, the media played a direct role in spreading 2 main false narratives. The Russian invasion was unprovoked and Ukraine could win this war if enough foreign fighters joined the fight against Russia. And since Kiev can win this war, why would Ukrainians sign a peace treaty with Moscow and declare neutrality, right? 20,000 foreign mercenaries from 52 countries joined a war that can't be won, but sold otherwise to the public through obvious media manipulations, some of which were carried out by the useful idiots of NAFO trolls and X. Today, after 2 years of selling lies that inflicted unimaginable pain and suffering upon the Ukrainian people, Western politicians are backing off from the famous "we will support Ukraine as long as it takes" to "no more funds for Ukraine" because the US will run out of funds by the end of the year. The Washington Post says victory for Ukraine is far less likely than years of war and destruction. Those who pointed this out from the start were smeared and called Putin apologists. But now it is clear to everyone that NATO proxy war in Ukraine has failed, and the US and the UK have deliberately prolonged the war while they could have ended it in the first few weeks when Russia was ready to pull back if Kiev accepted neutrality, meaning not to join the anti-Russian military alliance NATO. Do you know what is going to happen next? Tens of thousands of Ukrainian families will live in grief and agony for losing a father or brother in a war that could have stopped in March 2022. But the corporate-owned media and the corporate-owned politicians had a different plan for Ukraine. And rest assured, Zelensky will soon flee the country and enjoy his life with his wife somewhere on the American shores, while his people will suffer endlessly. Ukraine is finished. Let's hope the people of the other countries learn from the lesson and refuse to fall for the same trap over and over again. I wish nothing but peace for Ukraine. I hope that is clear by now.